So let's just grab that sand wedge right now anyway. And do me a favor, and just try to hit a couple shots onto that green up there for me.
Okay.
Now I've seen you swing some. I don't think you need to do anything different. Just swing like you were doing before.
Not like that.
Not like that, but that's not an uncommon shot for a lot of golfers. There you go. Great. Pretty similar. Keep going. Thought he was going to go in the hole there, everybody.
Wouldn't that have been cool?
That would have been fantastic. We would have been done with our lesson, I guess. So I guess we'll keep going.
But I got to get rid of those first ones that I did.
That's right. You got to get rid of those first ones, and you got to have an idea really how far you hit the ball. If I ask most people, what do you need to do to hit the ball 150 yards? Most people would have an answer. They might say I need to hit a 8-iron, I might need to hit a 7-iron, I might need to hit a hybrid. They have a club that hits it 150 yards, okay? They know how to do it. They grab this club, they make a full swing, they hit it that distance. If I tell you to hit it 100 yards, most people have a club to hit it about 100 yards. Again, it could vary what they're hitting, but they know how to do it. I ask a lot of people how to hit it exactly 50 yards, and nobody knows. You know, they're just not sure what they want to do. And so we're going to kind of work on some of those things right now. And we're going to give a system, we're going to show you guys a system that's going to give you repeatable distances, show you how to hit the ball a certain distance, and take all the thought process and the feel out of it. And it's going to be kind of in the motion. Now the number one problem I see with golfers when they're mishitting these shots is, if you hang on right there, they take a swing that looks like up to here, and it goes to here, okay? They take this big backswing, and they make this short follow through. I see a lot of golfers do that. Chris doesn't do that. He actually does a really good job with a lot of his stuff, but he doesn't have the feel to exactly hit it exactly where he wants all the time. He just gets it pretty close. We're going to change that. And what I want to see out of golfers is, instead of making this swing here to here, I'd rather reverse it. And I'd rather make a backswing to here and a follow through to here. Because it's our follow through when we can keep that tempo either the same or speeding up, that consistency comes to hitting the golf ball. And when we're slowing down and making this big swing and slowing down, we're hitting them heavy, we're hitting them thin, we're hitting them right, left. We're just doing all kinds of things that just lead to inconsistent shots for us.
Yep.
So by really focusing on one backswing, and we're going to do some things with his follow through, we're going to really kind of get him dialed in. And go ahead and face the camera there as well. There. Okay. So what we want to work with right now is one backswing, and what I'd like to see a player do is on their backswing with wedge shots, probably 50 yards and in, 40, 30 yards, is just bring their hands back to about their waist. So we get those hands so they're just above his belt line right in there. From there, I'd also like him to get his hands get set just a little bit so that his head and the club head are about even. I don't want him picking the club head up above his head, and I don't want it straight out. His head and the sand wedge there are about even. So all of his swings are coming back to his belt. He's getting his hands set, and his club head's by there. So that's a mark where, when you're practicing, you can go ahead and relax for a second. When you're practicing, you can think about is, if you can bring your hands back and stop them at the same point all the time, that's the first step to hitting it a consistent distance all the time. You know, if you come back and you swing once here and the next time you swing here, guess what? You're going to get different distances. It's just going to happen. So that's the first step that we're going to do in here. All right, the next step that we're going to add is going to be kind of in a couple different parts here. And I feel like he's going to do a pretty good job of being able to take his club back so those hands are by the waist and the head's by his head. But now we've got to work on the follow-through. And the first follow-through that we're going to work on is, I call a waist-to-waist swing, because I want his hands back to his waist, and I want him to follow through to the waist, and that's it. So it's a pretty small swing when we come waist to waist into there. These are for shots maybe 15, 20 yards off the green. So let's go ahead and hit a couple of these waist to waist. There we go. Now, we don't have a specific target in mind right now. We just are trying to hit some balls, concentrating on this waist-to-waist swing. I don't care how far they go. I just wanted to make clean contact with this waist-to-waist swing right here. There you go. That's about the swing we want. Those first two, Chris, you kind of went back to your old swing a little bit where we just had that club straight out from there.
Yeah.
That third one, you got those set a little bit. We don't have to set them all the way, but just a little bit adds to that. What that really helps is what we want to make sure to do is that we're not swinging the club with our hands.
Yeah.
Okay, I can stand here and swing with my hands. I don't want to do that. I want to swing with my shoulders and my arms. And if we can just get back and get that club set there, we don't need to swing with our hands and arms there. We just swing by turning our body back to the target, which is what you did on that third one.
Yep. Still.
Waist to waist, yep. I want to do a couple more anyway. Gonna mark you right here, waist to waist. There you go. A little bit bigger than I want still.
Yep.
We might get some funky shots out of him here, everybody, but I sit these little buffers right out here that he's got to stop before he bumps into. He's got plenty of room, and he'll trust it after about 2 or 3 shots. But these first couple, they're a little weird when you're doing it for the first time. There we go. Good. That ball carries just over that small little mound there. Kind of rolls up there. I think for the most part, these shots should be ending up short of the green for him. There we go.
I think I slowed down that time.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do one more with these here, and I'll let you hit one more without them. Waist to waist. He brings his hands back to his waist and through to his waist. Bumped in a little bit.
Yeah. See, this is actually, I was explaining to Chris before we came out, this is actually harder work for me because I haven't been able to hit the ball for so many years. So I came out and practiced on the chipping green and the putting green. So I probably have more bad habits right around here than I did out there.
Sure, because you've kept up with it all that time.
Yeah.
And you do a pretty good job with it, like we said, but everybody's game could use a little fine tuning, especially in here.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to just kind of set these here, and then when you start to swing, I'm going to take them away, just so they're not in your way. Just like that, kind of give you that visual. Just kind of in the back of your mind. There we go. Waist to waist and short. You had about 2 others that have landed in that area.
Okay.
When you catch it clean, your waist to waist swing is traveling probably about 25 yards. Let's do one more since you're on a roll right now. Good. A little bit shorter backswing than the others, and you hit it about 5 yards shorter. So it all relates.
Okay.
One thing that I do want to mention is, and what I like to see that he's doing a good job of, is I always like for a student to hold that finish until the ball lands. Because most of the time, there's going to be direct correlation to where that ball lands to where these finish. And if you hit one a little further or a little shorter than you actually averagely do, it's a lot of times it's going to be because you went a little further or a little shorter than we wanted to.